Okay, here's a little video of Sally Wiley's property. We're looking at the northeast corner of their property. And this is the excavated area back here where they're planning on having underground piping to bring in outside air for the heating and cooling of the big barn up there, which has not been completed and now is just a huge hole that holds on to water and keeps the groundwater level very high and makes it impossible on our land early spring especially to harvest trees, because my trees are underwater and it's like slop trying to dig them out of the ground. And here's where they've got a big holding area in the bottom that is collecting water as it goes underground there. There's a pipe that comes to it and then they pump it out of here, and it's been going into a big bladder over here. Ground is just sopping wet under my feet. You can see the big bladder is empty. The pipe has come loose, or they've taken it off. I don't know why. You can see it's disconnected from the bag. The bag is now empty. It was full. Even when it was full and letting it out slowly, it comes onto our land, has made a mess on the trails over here. Never been underwater as much as it has been this year. Stop it there. Okay, we're back over on our property now, and you can see where the bladder was that I just showed a picture of, and that's leaking onto our property over here on the other side of the fence and just draining down to the north towards the gator and then off down the fields. It's a natural slope of the land down here, but we've never had it this bad on our part of the property. Maybe in the springtime a little bit, but it's workable. And now trying to get through here, mowing trails and just driving through, it's a mess. And they're not doing anything about cleaning up that and finishing that piping project, and that open pond back there seems to be holding a lot of water and they don't know what to do with it. There's just a little bit of a video of the pond. I'm standing on our side of the fence, so I'm across their northern part of their fence, and I'm just showing the pond area. This doesn't give any justice to how big that area is, but it's probably got to be 150 feet long at least by 30 to 40 feet wide. And then here's a shot back down. Here's that bladder again. And then I'm just taking a quick another video where I'm still along the northern fence line here, and from that pit that they've got in there collecting water, they're not only piping water to that bladder over here, but they have a line that's coming on the ground. Probably hard to see right here. Well, you can see a little bit of blue line down underneath the fence, the bottom rail of the fence, discharging out this way. I'm not exactly sure where it's tipping out, but I'm going to stop the film and walk down the fence just a little bit more. Well, it's not far. Here, bear with the shake, and you can see that we have water standing here because they're emptying from that pit to the northwest, and it's coming out on their northern part of the fence right here and keeping this area nice and wet and full of silt. Further on down, about in the middle of the picture right there, if I drove through that, when I drove through that 2 days ago mowing the trails, I had brown tires because there's lots of silt leaving this construction area. There's a big hill of dirt here and a lot of amended soils. And obviously a silt fence here to try and catch everything, but it's not doing its job. And here's just a quick shot of that excavated pond area. Not up close, I'm on our side this time, but you can see that there's still mounds of dirt that have been excavated up and out of here. That growing weeds all over it hasn't been touched in months. They haven't worked on this area since early spring. Or maybe late spring, but there where the pipe heads come out. The geothermal pipes, those white T's right there. And they're supposed to come all the way along this area here. And construction of it's been stopped. They can't keep the water out of it because this is naturally a lower area. They've hilled up their property incredibly. They've amended the soils and raised where the footprint of those barns are. It's up at least 8 feet higher than it used to be years back before any construction was done. Thus we're having tons of water issues coming this way on our property. You can just see that our trail is a heck of a lot lower than this soil up here. And I'm not saying it wasn't wet here before, because that's the natural lay of the land, but it is by far worse after this construction. And with this water holding in this pond area here, it's making it much worse because it's keeping the groundwater level wet high, and anything seeping to lower spots finds it to our part of the land right here. Makes it all wet.